Buenos días o buenas tardes. Hablamos hoy de los pronombres y el verbo ser. Our goal today, we want to first be able to define what conjugating means. We're going to see that a lot as we talk about verbs in Spanish. We do it sometimes in English, but it's going to be a concept that's relatively new for us in Spanish. Our second goal is we want to use conjugations of the verb known as ser to describe myself, you, and one other person. Conjugating. When we talk about conjugating, what we mean is we're going to change the verb. In Spanish, that means usually changing just the ending, depending on certain factors. In Spanish, we have to change specifically the verb to match the person we're talking about. And so we'll see how we can do that with our different subject pronouns that we should have just learned by watching that YouTube video. Here's some review. Tenemos a LeBron y Lionel Messi. ¿LeBron es alto? ¿Sí o no? Sí. ¿Messi es alto? No. So what we can say is, Messi no es alto, él es bajo. Repaso. ¿Ella es guapa? ¿Sí o no? For the most part, we'll say, sí, ella es guapa. ¿Él es guapo? ¿Sí o no? If you were to say sí, well, you can. If we say no, we want to instead say él es feo. Muy bien. All right. Repasamos también los pronombres. We have our singular forms here. Right? We have yo, tú, él, ella, usted. And our plural forms, nosotros, vosotros, ellos, ellas, and ustedes. So we have 10 pronouns we use. If we need to review what those are, okay, hopefully we wrote down on that worksheet from our video, we filled in those blanks to be able to have that as a reference for us in terms of our pronouns. But that video, and there are several videos on YouTube that are really good for making sure we can review our pronouns. Estudio Libre will be available for us as well. There'll be Quizlets and other things to help us practice our pronouns. But we want to start getting into how we can use pronouns to describe groups of people. As of now, we've used yo, and we've used él and ella, but we want to use the rest of them. So let's get started. We'll see this conjugation chart a lot with our verbs. We usually have 6 different forms of a given verb, and so we use this chart to identify those and separate those based off of the subject. And so this is how we'll do it. In that top left corner, we'll usually put I. We'll put you in the bottom one on the left, or the middle left. He and she, and our you formal will usually go on the bottom left. In English, that would be he, she. We have we on the top right. Middle right, we'll have y'all, very informal. And we have they on the bottom right, or you all. So when we talk about conjugating, we do it just like this in English. So if I'm on the top left, I'll say I am. But if I talk about you, I'm not going to say you am, right? We say you are. And if I say he or she, I'm not going to say he are or even he am. I will say he or she is. So we see how we change our verb in English depending on our subject. And we're going to do something very similar in Spanish. Going to our plural forms, we would say we are, y'all are, they are. But we'll see how we do it in Spanish. So the verb is ser, which means to be. So whenever we see that verb, we know we're going to describe a person. And so this is how we'll do it. We've seen this. Yo soy. Tú eres. Él, ella, or usted will use es. So él, he, ella, she, usted, you, but formal. Remember back to the video, formal means if we're talking to someone who's older than us or has more authority than us, we'll use usted. So here are examples. Hola, soy señor Crisp. Yo soy de California. Soy alto y simpático. Soy moreno. Notice, we don't always have to use the pronoun yo. The reason for that is because when we see soy, we know we are only talking about I. And so you'll see that sometimes, and that's why. So when it says soy alto y simpático, in Spanish, it becomes a little repetitive if we always say yo soy, 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 yo soy, yo soy. And so just like in English, we can replace that with a pronoun, but it can also stand by itself depending on the pronoun. Same goes for tú, and our conjugation is eres. Right? Take a special note, right? We're using tú with our friends or people younger than us. We have an example here of a love poem, right? Eres mi hoy y mi mañana, el primer rayo de luz que entra por mi ventana, right? So we're using eres when we're talking with someone. It's a little more intimate or informal, someone that we know. We might use eres. Remember back, usted es. Okay, we'll use that with authority figures so that it could include your teachers, older people. Our video noted that a general rule of thumb is if you would call that person Mr. or Mrs. at any point, we would probably use usted. Grandparents and family are also good examples, especially if they are older, right? If they're our age, we may use tú. And so here's our chart. We want to fill in the rest. So our plural forms would be nosotros somos, vosotros sois, ellos, they, ellas, they, ustedes son. Ustedes being you all, so if you're addressing multiple people. Nosotros somos. For example, nosotros somos guapos. Notice, when we're using our adjectives, those need to be plural if we are talking about multiple people. Vosotros sois. As described in the video, this is only used in Spain. This would be the equivalent of the tú form if we were talking to multiple people. Okay, vosotros is informal. It's like y'all. Okay, so like if we're in Texas, we'll say, hey, y'all, how you doing? That's how we'll kind of do it. Vosotros sois. Lastly, we have ustedes, ellos, ellas, all use this conjugation, and that is son. Okay, so this would apply to any multiple people we're talking about who do not include ourselves. Okay, so if I'm talking about a group of boys, I'll say ellos son. If I'm talking about a group of girls, ellas son. If I'm addressing multiple people, like if I were in class addressing the class, I will say ustedes son. Okay, so that's going to be our plural form.